So here we have Peter Cushing, who did not die recently. He died a ways back.
Yeah, this feels like the other shoe took a long time to drop. I remember us having a conversation
We
about
had a
this
conversation
when it first
about
happened.
this.
You did not like it at all.
I did not like it. I had read articles at the time. Oh, but Disney got permission from the Cushing estate. And I'm like, okay. And I maybe I misread something. Maybe this is my memory playing tricks on me, but I could have swore I read that when this movie came out. Like, how could they get Peter Cushing's visage on that? And it's like, because he didn't get permission for it. Because obviously when they have Carrie Fisher in here, Carrie Fisher was alive at the time. There's like, can we make a younger Princess Leia? Yes. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
But
exactly.
The makers of Rogue One, a Star Wars story, are being sued over the image rights of actor Peter Cushing, whose image was resurrected for the 2016 film. Cushing, who passed away in 1994 from cancer, had played the character Grand Moff Tarkin in the original Star. Is it Grand Moff Tarkin or Grand Moff Tarkin?
Grand, Grand, Moff,
Okay.
Moff. Grand Moff.
I just called him Governor Tarkin in that. Never mind.
Yeah, you can call him Governor Tarkin.
With these new names. Anyway, okay. In the original Star Wars: A New Hope movie back in 1977, barring a small animated cameo in 2005's Revenge of the Sith and younger versions of the character voiced by Stephen Stanton, Tarkin had been mostly unused in the Star Wars universe following Cushing's passing. However, Rogue One opted to resurrect the character in Cushing's likeness for the critically acclaimed prequel starring Felicity Jones and Mickelson. Guy Henry appeared as Cushing's body double, while the late great actor's face was digitally reconstructed. Yeah, it didn't look CG at all. I'm sorry.
I mean, it was close. It was really close.
You say so. Anyway, the same film also used a digital recreation of a younger version of Carrie Fisher Princess. That was not close.
No, yeah, that one, and you could tell it was rushed.
Okay. There was this movie called Forrest Gump, and there was this episode of Star Trek Deep Space Nine where they met the original crew members and the old-fashioned Klingons, and they had this great thing where they would take old footage and splice the new footage, and I don't know why we just don't do that as the effect. It can work. I'm sure there were plenty of Cushing outtakes that never mind. What do I know? What do I know?
I know.
CG can fix anything. In 2017, John.
Well, in fairness, there have been a whole lot of these scenes where, like, the corridor crew come along and they take these scenes from these movies and they improve them. And you look and you go, obviously, CG can do so much better than what Disney is doing. Why does Disney suck so bad?
Well, I think part of the problem is I think a lot of these teams are under pressure to put too much.
Yeah, they don't give them the time and the resources to do a good job.
Yeah.
Plus, they're so brutal with these people. The best of them go, screw you, I'm not doing it, and they quit.
Yeah.
And they got second stringers under ridiculous time restraints. And you get what you get.
You get Ant-Man, the latest Ant-Man.
Right.
In 2017, John Knoll, who served as visual effects supervisor in Rogue One, said Cushing would have given the green light. We weren't doing anything that I think Peter Cushing would have objected to. I think this work was done with a great deal of affection, and Carrie told Yahoo Movies. Peter Cushing was dead. You don't know what he would have said.
Yeah, that's right. That's just it. That's not going to hold up in court. Well, we think he would have. Well, his son says otherwise.
Now, one of Cushing's oldest, Kevin Francis, is claiming that the actor never gave anyone permission to reproduce his appearance via special effects without his prior authorization. The pair worked on a number of movies together, including The Ghoul, Legend of the Werewolf, and The Masks of Death. He claims that agreement was made between Cushing and himself in 1993 before the actor died while they were preparing to make a film called A Heritage of Horror, which was never completed. Yeah. Okay, so this was between him and Kevin Francis, his son, I guess, right? All right. The Times reports that on Monday, the 9th of September, the Disney Group, who owns the rights to Star Wars and made Rogue One, failed to have Francis's claims for unjust enrichment dismissed from the High Court. This means this is going to go to court. That's what that means.
Yes,
Francis's company, Tyborn Film Productions, has also brought forward claims against Rogue One producers Luneck Heavy Industries, as well as Cushing's agency and the executors of his estate. Lucasfilm have protested the case, claiming they didn't need permission to recreate Cushing's image when A New Hope was remastered in 1997, and that $37,000 was paid to his estate to clear the use of that appearance. they weren't CGing his appearance.
Exactly. They were his actual appearance. He was credited for it. He did the work. He got paid for it.
Yes, I mean they were just because it was a new version of the film, they paid a nominal fee. But after dismissing Disney's appeal, High Court Judge Tom Mitchison said, "I am also not persuaded the case is unarguable to the standard required to give summary judgment or to strike out." He added, "An area of developing law, it is very difficult to decide where the boundaries might lie in the absence of full factual inquiry. So the judge wants us to investigate this."
Yep.
This will probably be a landmark case, actually.
I suspect that is the case. And here's the thing, like you said, CG can't fix Flappy. That is true.
Can CGI give me a spouse? If you live in Japan, because they have those.
Well, here's the thing.
Have you seen these gatebox things in Japan? They're like these little anime girls, and they say, "Did you have a nice day at work?" It's like the character from Blade Runner 2049.
I had not, but I'm not.
And then the company was going to make versions of it for the Western market. And instead of these cute anime girlfriends, one of them looked, I want to say, I don't want to say she looked like Karen, but she didn't look cute like the anime girls. And the other was a guy. And I almost wanted the guy to be like a dude bro saying, hey, bro, why aren't you working out right now? Instead of it being.
Actually, that's probably not a bad motivator. It's like, bro, you need to be working out, man. Get to
I'm just saying, it's not what I want to see when I get home from work. If I don't have a significant other, I want my fake little girlfriend, whispering sweet nothings. Anyway,
but I'll tell you, the problem was that we were under the impression that there was some sort of an arrangement made with the estate. Keep in mind, your estate. Let me back up and give you a little armchair, non-lawyer, legal breakdown here. When you die, this is pretty much true for just about everything. Your rights go away. You no longer have rights. You're a dead body. You're not allowed to own anything. You can't sue. You can't nothing, right? But your estate can. And we can argue round and round about whether or not a group of people ought to be effectively a company, a conglomerate, is allowed to be a human being with rights in its own right. Take that up with Citizens United, but your family and descendants do get a say. And sometimes all those family members don't agree. And so who is in charge of your estate can be contested. You are on shaky ground if you have any kind of an agreement with an estate. You better have all your legal ducks in a row. No handshakes. I talked to Peter Cushing, before he died, and we had a wink and a nod and a handshake. Bullshit crap. In court, you better have a contract, and if that contract doesn't hold up, you have no ground to stand on. But this is kind of the way Disney deals with lawsuits, right? Well, we believe we're okay, so we want this thrown out. And the courts go, no, that ain't how it works. This is going to court. We're going to be doing some discovery, and you're going to pony up all the evidence. And if the evidence don't fly, your case don't fly, and you're going to be owing a lot of money to the estate.
Yes.
But that's also why it makes a huge difference that people like Carrie Fisher and Mark Hamill and others have come up with, themselves did sign contracts to say, yes, I will record sounds for you so that you can use my voice in perpetuity for this much. I think it's foolish to do that. You're literally signing your life away for a firm amount. Maybe after a certain age, when you don't have many years ahead of you, maybe it's worth it to you. But
which I assume is what James Earl Jones did with his voice, probably.
I think he may have done. Yes, we may still be. Who else did this long before any of the Star Wars stuff started happening?
Ooh.
Majel Barrett Roddenberry.
Interesting.
She went in and recorded. People may not realize this, but in order to, now it's a little different with AI. AI can fill in the blanks for you. But back in the day, you would have to go in and professionally have your voice recorded, and you would have to record every possible phoneme of your voice so that it could then be digitally altered and edited and stuff.
You know why I'm on board with that? Because she was literally playing the voice of the computer. So I don't mind if it sounds artificial.
And that is why she did, because
yes.
Interestingly, her intonation was in the intonation of the computer.
Yeah.
It would be hard for them to use her voice for anything other than a computer voice. And the fans just love it when they hear her voice on a computer voice. Oh yeah, that's just awesome. That's in fact, her voice is still used in Star Trek Online for the computer voice.
Okay.
So, but that was an agreement she made, and it's in perpetuity, and they've got the contract. No one's going to come and complain about that. It doesn't sound like that's what happened with Peter Cushing.
Why not just use a new actor to play him?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Just
you could have
recast.
Governor take, just use a new actor. They had a new actor playing a younger version. I mean, you only saw him on screen briefly in the Revenge of the Sith. Just maybe get that guy back. Put a few years on him with makeup, and he could be your Cush. You could be your Governor Tarkin. You have two different actors playing Obi-Wan. I can make the leap. That this is Governor Tarkin.
We have a history of people being recast, and sometimes you look at the new actor and you go, man, that person really does look a lot like so and so or whatever the case is.
I mean, Ewan McGregor is as much Obi-Wan now as.
Well, we were able to accept that without a problem.
Yeah.
The thing is, when you try to screw around with it, you do the CG and it's not quite right. You get that uncanny valley, waxy look.
Yeah.
Or even worse, honestly, the guy in Revenge of the Sith that does the cameo shot, they put like makeup, like prosthetic cheeks on him and stuff, and it's like, oh, that looks terrible. That just looked terrible.